Good morning. I hope. I am hoping that you can hear me. I've just been unmuting, checking out. It's like just so you didn't hear me blow my nose, basically. I don't quite like that sound. It's a bit not quite the same as a flute, isn't it? So there we go. Good morning, Nat. Lovely to have you here. And we've got Rinna already as well. So it's great to have the crew starting to gather. Or the family, the team, whatever. Oh, it's so cold. Well, it is cold here. I've had the heater going, but my hands are still quite cold. I don't know why. It's another reason why I was thinking to do the flute. It's a good thing to keep that active. It's this weather, it just, when you've injured something, it just tends to do things longer term, doesn't it? So good morning, Kylie. Oh, beautiful photo. That is superb photo. I so remember your mum. Lovely, lovely. So we'll get into the cards. So definitely tune into your spiritual guidance as we're joining together to look at what the messages are from Spirit. You need to be able to practice and really get into this connection of your psychic abilities. Don't even label it that if you don't like that term. Just connect with Spirit. That's your inner you, and that is the outer from the cosmos. All of it is energies that we're receiving those messages through. And understand for yourself, knowing your life situations, what is relevant as you're continuing to practice that is the messaging to you, and analysing it, what is it that seems significant, and question self, all of those little tips around receiving messages and you communicating with Spirit. So, and good morning to Marissa. Lovely to have you here. And Carol, good morning. And we've got Tarot Diane over on the YouTube. So it's great to have you here as well. Thanks, Diane, for being here via YouTube, because it's not that often we get live watchers on there. I'll click over to the cards. Oh my goodness, that's an awfully washed out, funny looking colour. It's meant to be purple. I mean, the cloth is purple, as you've seen before. Obviously, the colour of something is reflecting it quite a bit differently. I'm intrigued at this aura that it's got over it. Maybe it's Spirit saying something to us. Good morning, Melissa. Lovely to have you here. Now, just a reminder too, for those, there's a couple of new names. This is a general card spread reading that basically is guiding you through what is a spread for the day today. And I have no idea why that is adjusting itself to being blue. But we can only but progress onwards, otherwise I waste time trying to wonder what the setup is. Don't know. This is what it is for this morning. What we've got is the spread. What I love to have is just an owl card, because it's another deck that I got given, and you will just see the edge of the flute. It's the only place it'll fit on my table that I was practicing with earlier. And I am a work in progress is the wisdom from the owls. Isn't it beautiful? Let's see if that focuses back out there. Look at the gorgeous. I just love it's the eyes. And that saying, the eyes are the window to the soul, and the wisdom you see, well, I do, in the eyes, especially of an owl. They're just so, I don't know, deep. And remind yourself, you are a work in progress. Everything is a work in progress in a lifetime. in this life. And here we've got the Owls card. I loved it. I love it when I see the Owls card presenting for the spread. So, Gilded Reverie Lenormand deck by Ciro Marchetti, expanded edition. There are many other different types of decks. If you're needing to purchase your own, go to the style that is most attractive to you in its artwork, in what you feel when you're picking up the deck. So they're also different, but basically the names of the cards are, of course, the same, like a tarot deck across the many styles and brands. So good morning, Sarah. Lovely that you're here. Wonderful. And you've got the owl there. Good morning, Kathy, as well. Good morning. So we're starting off in a 5-card spread, as I have done for the weekdays for many a time. Haven't even calculated what the years are. It doesn't matter. What we've got is the Scythe in the home space. It's the Owls in the workspace. We've got the Mice as unexpected, which they usually are too. And we've got the Magnifying Glass as our role. And then in the Mountain is in the outcome. But it's a pivot card as well, because it's in the center of whichever way you want to read these cards. If you're doing the column first or if you're doing the row first, it is the center. Pretty obvious. So what our challenges are. What are the challenges? So here we have the Scythe in the home space. I feel it's also being careful. It is a sharp instrument, and it's used for harvest usually, or weeding, cutting, mowing, that type of thing, whether it's the handheld like this, or you can get them on long handles that give a nice swing to the hips, which I've used one of those myself in my younger years. A very interesting tool. And there's ways and means of handling them safely. And I think that what I'm getting through from Spirit is the handling your tools, handling situations safely, so that you aren't, and I'm getting cutting words, not using the cutting words, really having a mindfulness around how you're speaking to those in your home space, in your family. It's that's just the message I'm getting. So have a mindfulness around what you are speaking and what is happening in your home space, that it's not cutting off. I'm hearing that phrase, cutting off your head to spite your face, nose to spite your face, one of those things. So it is that, even though it is a harvest, if you're careful around how you're managing your scythe, your tools, your skills and techniques, and you know, what you do in your home space, do it carefully so that you're not cutting off things too quickly, too painfully. I'm just sensing you do need to have some care in the home space today, especially around sharp instruments and items, okay? And your words. It was the words that came out first from Spirit, so have that mindfulness around how you are being with each and every person that you're in relationship in your home space, because this is the home, okay? So with that in mind, because it's got that, we've got the pivot of the Mountain today. There could be some challenges in the home space, so take care, be careful with it. And yeah, Melissa, from the years ago when I had kids in my home, yep, absolutely. I hear you and understand that. I'm a grandma now. I don't have children in my home space very often. That's not a thank goodness. I love having them visit and going to visit them. So from there, we're moving into the wisdom of the owls. I just love it. Work in progress right next to it as far as our owl focus card today. And what we've got here with the owls in our business space is that communication with some wisdom. So it is bringing in that, having the steps in mind and what is next, but not too far ahead, because what you're needing to deal with is information. Is just that, it's information. It is how we use it. It's how we take each one of those steps in the way that we plan, in the way that we're actually then taking that step to do and enact what we are putting into the process, the progress forward. So, we are a work in progress. So is our work, what we do in our business space, what we do for our job, in whatever way you are earning your income. Take it wisely so that it's not just grabbing at every opportunity because you're feeling, and I'm getting the word desperate. It's not about desperation. It is just calming the waters of information, because I know I'm feeling this overload of so much that we feel we need to know, but what we're actually needing to do is just to calm those waters and take that is our wisdoms from that, what we actually need, without feeling we've got to do everything. Focus on what you need as that step by step. And I'm feeling that, look, if you're into checklists, like a Virgo like me, I like checklists. If you're into that, write up a list that you can tick things off as you go. Have a flow chart as a system for those that like that form. Consulting with others in your team to delegate what needs to be moved on to someone else, and concentrate and focus on what is your particular skill and expertise, and moving that forward as part of the team in your business, in your workspace, and those who are around and about you. It is about sharing too, and learning from each other as we move through that working energy. And moving forward. It is moving forward. We are progressing. So, that work in progress really does learn from those challenges. What we've got is the mice in the unexpected. So it's also, and what I'm getting here is just be careful of what ideas and things you do share, that it's not too preemptive. I'm just going to quickly go like this, because what you can see there with the mice, my table's not quite in the right angle there. I'll just move it down forward. You can see the mice scattered around everywhere here. There's, in behind, swinging away, having a playful time. This is all the different tasks that probably you are seeing in your team, but make sure there's not someone doing the wrong thing in the background, that they're stealing ideas or taking credit for what is your project and things like that. There's another one playfully over there trying to get into the teapot, or is it a coffee pot? It's all different things. In the abundance that we have in workspace, it would be that the mice probably show up at those. This is the unexpected card, that they're showing up. I'm getting that eavesdropping sense. Have an awareness around that today. And especially as Melissa mentioned, as far as frustration with dealing with kids and that, I can remember many times in the home space, you'd go to get something from the pantry and the kids had eaten it. You'd been planning something for a meal and the main ingredient had disappeared, or baking. Your chopped chips have all gone because the kids have pilfered it. It's that type of thing I'm feeling there. But I'm just feeling, look, they'll get just the fact that the mouse is there, almost ready to chew right through this. I think the just desserts. It almost is that karma. Well, it's chewing through that. It's going to get what it deserves because it's going to fall on its ass, basically. So allow some of those things to flow through, because they will show up in other aspects at some point, where it really is that is what seems to be hidden and behind you is going to be revealed. So, because the karma buckle bite, that type of thing. So, kids do eventually get found out for raiding the pantry. It's that type of thing in the home space. That's what I'm feeling from that. I love the mice card, because it is, to me, it's just so joyful and playful. I love it. And then we've got the magnifying glass, and this is also, it corresponds. It actually does magnify. Our role is to look at the closer detail, magnify what we're being shown and what we're experiencing as well. Have a look at it more closely. And good morning, Raywin. Beautiful to have you here. Thank you for being here. And Sarah's just pointed out, good morning, Sarah. Both rows equal angel number 7, inner wisdom, and it's the owl cards too. So there's wisdom all around in this one. It's exactly right. The wisdom is there. We need to be tapping into it. And hi, Myra, all the way in Scotland. I remembered this time, didn't I? So good to have you here. So, get that finer deep. It doesn't mean you have to literally get a magnifying glass out, although I can when I'm sitting here, because here I go. I've got mine sitting there, and this one even has a little light on it. One of those residual gifts from Dad with what he left behind when he went off to that happy place, wherever that is. Home space, yes. So look into things just a little closer, touch into what it's feeling for you in that magnified aspect. Maybe there's something that's going to be shown to you that is that bigger picture, that really is that's the more global. And it is one of those power numbers, this card. It's a 44. It's a double number. So I'll just try and get this squared up again. And not always possible. There we go. Let's just bring that down again. I have got the webcam fairly close to the table today because I knew I could swing it around with the earcam. So there we go, and move into, here is that central position of that mountain, its challenges. It is little things that might happen along the way that we look and feel like it's just so much, too much, and is the overwhelming, because we've got the Mount Everest behind compared to what might be the Mount Kosciuszko, speaking Aussie type stuff, mountains. It's the only one I could think of. Well, Mount Barker is even smaller here. That's much more closer to me presently, as in South Australian Mount Barker, not the West Australian one. So here is that reindeer. We are, think of yourself as the reindeer. You do know the skills. You do know the pathway. It can be instinctive. Other parts of the mountains, you've got to work at it. But just set your goal for what is comfortable for you in the now. And you eventually do get to the peak of what might be your Mount Everest. It is that being the work in progress. So continue onward, just look forward, do what you need to each step of the way to move through it. Challenges do build our muscles. It helps us learn more and different ways sometimes to actually take a pathway. Might not always be clear the first time round. So look, if it's backtracking, it's still moving forward, right? Because you're not going to be walking this path in reverse or backwards, are you? You are still going to face forward, whichever way you are treading that path, finding that little bit to climb over or walk around, all of that. So trust your instincts, trust what you already know as you're moving through this, and you'll be there at whichever of those peaks and seeing whichever of those magnificent views by the end of the day that you desire to actually have as your goal. So with all of those cards, and that's just the little brief in the corner there for you to look at. Okay, so with all of those cards, it might only be 5, but in the way that the layout encompasses all of what your day is, it is your home space, it is your workspace, and it's just those little in-betweens at times where you can rest between space, in that vortex almost, and allow yourself those peaceful moments. Let the mice do their plaything. Let the magnifying glass show you those moments where you can actually do those mini inner discoveries, I suppose. I call them Zen moments. If we're really feeling, I do sit in my chair and I just close my eyes, and it might not even be a minute. It can be 2 to 3 breaths of just closing the eyes, centering at my heart space and knowing it just feels right. And it almost is like the recalibration. Not so much the compass, it's just recalibrating self and really touch like a touch point, a space that you can just anytime, at any point. You don't even have to close your eyes, really. It's sensing that you are within your own space, beingness, and you're most who you are, that being. This is spirit. They're just bringing me, it almost feels like a whole lot of garbly stuff right now. So there is so much that we can delve into and learn and progress within our each and every one of us within our daily life, the steps we're taking. Trust what you're receiving, trust how you're giving it out. And I think as much as you feel that it is right and that is on your purpose, continuing to move forward with that energy and that connection with spirit. Okie dokies. So thank you. And it is a beautiful spread today, and all with a link to each other. It works out so well. It's like anything that I think that is messages from, not that I think, I know are messages from spirit. Always in truth, always in that absolute perfect timing for what you're needing at that moment. So trust that. And for each and every one of us to have a beautiful day with the wisdom that the hours bring, definitely, and spirit. So thank you, Nat, and thank you, Kylie. Thank you. Now I'm going to keep moving on, and you're going to look at the replay. Well, that's wonderful. It doesn't come down. It stays there. So anyone who's watching as replay, here for the first time, and the rest, watch them as often as you like. They are on my Ros Boundy page. I do have just a quick announcement too that Leanne and I are going to Mount Gambier, not Mount Barker, going to Mount Gambier on the 24th to the 26th of this month, September. So it's not this coming weekend, it's the next one. So there's a booking link if you'd like to pre-book for a reading appointment with me. Leanne's is on her leannewinston.com page. I think she's got a Calendly link for her bookings. So in whichever way, it'd be lovely to see you there. I so look forward to our road trips. They're great fun. And it is. It's great fun. I'm not sure if I'm going to have Rocky Road this time because I do need to actually become a little fitter. I've been doing the swimming and just started gym on Tuesday. See how that progresses. Just to, flexibility as we're getting older, it gets a little bit creaky. So thanks for being here. Keep being the best you that you can be. And I'll see you tomorrow morning around the 8 o'clock. Bye for now. Namaste.